and innovation brings together brilliant minds, scientists, and enthusiasts from around the globe. Over these days, we have been witnessing captivating presentations and engaging discussions, fostering a spirit of curiosity and discovery. Today, we embark on yet another journey through the wonders of science at the Global Science Festival, Kerala. I welcome you all to today's talk titled The Icon Behind Decoding Millets, and the speaker is the renowned and independent scientist, Dr. Khader Vali. The Global Science Festival Kerala serves as a carefully curated science exhibition, providing a distinctive platform where scientists, artists, students, and science enthusiasts from around the globe come together to celebrate and showcase their passion for science. So without further ado, I invite Lakshmi Dattan, Assistant Program Coordinator, to share some welcoming remarks.
Good evening all, esteemed guests, distinguished speakers, and all participants. It is with immense pleasure and honor that I extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you to the Global Science Festival Kerala. A heartfelt welcome goes to the visionary and accomplished speaker and Padma Shri awardee Dr. Khader Vali, who has graciously accepted our invitation to share his expertise. Recently, he was awarded the BRIC CCI Annual Recognition Award. I welcome Dr. Khader Vali with utmost respect to the session. Today, we have with us Dr. Binuja Thomas, Principal Scientist, KCCSTE, who will be the chair for the session. I cordially welcome her to the session. Now, I welcome Mr. Roshan P. Matthews from the Program Organizing Committee, who will be proposing the word of thanks. Finally, I welcome all the participants who have gathered here today for your invaluable presence. Once again, a warm welcome to Global Science Festival Kerala. May this day be filled with enriching discussions and insights. Thank you.
Thank you, Lakshmi. So the session will be chaired by Dr. Binuja Thomas, Principal Scientist at Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment. She's the Nodal Officer, IPRIC and Patent Information Center, Kerala. And her management of schemes and programs include partnering academic industrial research, scheme for promoting seminar, symposia, workshops, and so on. She did her PhD in agricultural engineering from Kerala Agricultural University. Dr. Binuja has a 20 years multifaceted experience in research, teaching, and S&T management. So welcome, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. So I consider this as a great privilege to be part of the public lecture organized by Global Science Festival Kerala. And it's indeed a great, valuable moment for me. I'm standing here representing Principal Secretary, Science and Technology Department, Professor Sudhir KP. And in fact, Sir had another important meeting, so he couldn't make it possible. So right now I am with you. And I would like to, on behalf of Kerala State Council for Science, Technology and Environment, I would welcome the key persons behind this public lecture, the key persons who have helped us to make this public lecture a real one, especially Captain Prakash, he is assisting Professor Khader Vali, and also Kenal Sanjeev, CEO of Technopark. So welcome to this public lecture. Now giving an overview, as you know, United Nations General Assembly during its 75th session has declared 2023 as the International Year of Millets. And the millets encompass a diverse group of cereals, including the various pearl, foxtail, or even the finger and guinea millets, which are incredible ancestral crops with high nutritional value. And the millets can play an important role and contribute to our collective efforts to empower smallholder farmers, achieve sustainable development, eliminate hunger, and also promote the biodiversity and transform agri-food systems. Now, the International Year of Millets initiatives and programs have been implemented all over the world with an opportunity to raise awareness and also to provide direct policy attention to the nutritional and health benefits of millets and their sustainability for cultivation under adverse and challenging climatic conditions. The year also promotes sustainable production of millets while highlighting their potential to provide new sustainable market opportunities for producers and consumers. Today we have an eminent or the most apt person, the veteran in this field, the millet man of India, Professor Padma Shri, Dr. Khader Vali. So I take this opportunity to thank Global Science Festival Kerala, the organizers, for giving this opportunity to introduce the pioneer in this field, the right person. Dr. Khader Vali Dudkula is a renowned food and nutrition specialist from Mysore, and his advocacy for the consumption of millets as a means to combat lifestyle diseases such as diabetes and hypertension has earned him recognition and respect in the field. In 2023, he was honored with the prestigious Padma Shri, the fourth highest civilian award in India, a testament to his impactful contributions to the realm of health and nutrition. Khader Vali's journey reflects a rich academic background. After completing his MSc in Mysore and earning a PhD in steroids at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, he furthered his expertise as a postdoc fellow in environmental science in Beaverton, Oregon, USA. And returning to India in 1997, he transitioned from his role as a scientist in the US to become a dedicated advocate for the health benefits of millets over rice and wheat. And with over 2 decades of commitment, he actively studied the advantages of millet consumption and contributes to soil fertility preservation through sustainable agricultural practices. Now, recently, he was awarded the BRICS CCI annual recognition, adding to his illustrious career in the realm of health and nutrition. So, with immense pleasure and on behalf of Global Science Festival Kerala and KSST, let me invite you, sir, for the public lecture.
Cooking your food in pressure cooker destroys almost all the nutrients. Cooking your food in mud pot doesn't allow the pressure to be built up even under the layers that are near the bottom of the mud pot, because there are small micro pores that releases the pressure, so that the biology of the food is not disturbed, the nutrients are not changing the nature. Is there an advertisement? No. Am I right? And while watching, what did you guys do? Ordered in Zomato, pizza, burger, beer, whatever. Am I speaking sense? Where is science here? Where is science? No, I'm trying to throw things at you, the younger generation, that you live in a very complex system. We conduct now and then the so-called science park and talks about science. You guys have to decipher what's really going on. What is really going on? You are in a complex web of systems. We are trying to make you addicts to gutka, to liquor, to these technologies. Am I making sense? Am I? Madam, you don't nod your head. I'm talking about. We produce 88 lakh tons of sugar on an annual basis. 88 lakh tons of sugar on this planet, not on this planet, just in India. Do you know each kilo of that sugar consumes 28,000 liters of water to produce? Where does this water come from? From the rivers that we have, isn't it? So we build dams. To build dams, we cut the forest this side, and then to grow the sugar cane, we cut the forest the other side. 28% of the agricultural land is occupied by this sugar cane cultivation. And what do we produce? Sugar? We produce liquor, molasses. Your byproduct is sugar. And there are zillions of water wars among the states. As of now, Kaveri water between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, we fight every year. What are we waiting for? To produce sugar cane so that I make molasses and I make my liquor. 28,000 liters of water, potable water, to make 1 kilo of sugar. Do you know if you eat 1 kilo of sugar, how much gut microbes go kaput? You understand the word kaput? Becomes dysfunctional, sickness, everything can happen. So it is the sugar in your bloodstream that makes the gut microbes completely become enemies for you. That means you increase, instead of symbiotic bacteria, you get into pathogenic bacterial conditions. That means this sugar, we do not need even 1 milligram. That is the state of human gut. You put more sugar in your bloodstream, you spoil the gut microbes. Direct relationship. So why are we producing so much sugar? Why are we producing? Because liquor. And to produce 1 kilo sugar, you use tons and tons of fertilizers and pesticides. And in fact, this is the driving force. Not even producing liquor and sugar. It is the using the fertilizer and pesticide industry drives this. Am I making sense? So we don't need sugar because our guts get disturbed. But there is no scientist telling that do not eat sugar. It should have been on the front pages or frontline news. But what is frontline news on January 1st? Bangalore made 380 crores yesterday night by selling liquor. And then the next day, Hyderabad, we have made 18 crores more than Bangalore. What else did we do by doing this? We have spoiled the forests. The diversity is gone. And there is no grass that could grow just absorbing water from the moisture present in the environment and hold the top 4 or 5-inch soil strongly to protect from the sun, from the wind, from the rain, because the top soil is not protected if you grow sugarcane, because you have to provide water almost 8 to 9 months. And we all think we are living in a scientific world. You see, each and every milligram of sugar that you are consuming is damaging the top 4 or 5-inch soil. I'm just talking about India. India is a small place. All over the world, people are growing. All over the world, places like Florida and California have actually exhausted their water bodies. Everglades, aquifers in California have just dried up. They consume more sugar than anyone. I mean, incredible amount of fellows. They're incredible. And when you have sugar in your body, the excess sugar, because you cannot disturb the homeostasis of the blood. 5 grams per the whole liters of blood that you have, not beyond that. And that is what is called homeostasis of the blood. If you get beyond 5 grams of glucose, the blood becomes thick, am I right? If you just take sugar and put it in water and warm it up to your body temperature, it becomes thick. Gulab jamun syrup you will make. That means your heart is experiencing more pressure because the blood has become thickened. Then you go to doctor, sir, I have blood pressure. What does doctor do? Oh, you have BP. Take this tablet. What is that tablet? It thins your blood. Oh, who made the blood thick? Who made the blood thick? It's your glucose, excess glucose in your body. Who did that? You ate gulab jamun. You ate coffee, tea, sugar. Then you also ate pulao. You also ate paratha. You also ate cake. You also ate all these things that you ate, rice, wheat products, again, each kilo of rice to produce, you need 8,000 liters of water. Each kilo of wheat produces 10,000 liters of water. And we have been doing this in the last 50 years in the name of Green Revolution, producing so many tons and tons of these grains, having irrigation. That means you have to procure water from dams and then make arrangements to grow this. These are called C3 grasses, Oryza sativa and Triticum vulgare. Of course, the original seeds are not there anymore. They have done some hybridization, genetic modifications, and then patented the seeds. That means the rice and wheat growers on this planet are not farmers. They are the laborers for these corporate companies. So the seeds and the rights of the seeds have been transferred in the name of science and technology and patent and intellectual property rights to these companies, and they hold the food in their hands and they distribute whenever they want, because they have now the capacity to make you eat what they have got in their hands. And so you use fertilizers, you use pesticides, and then the food. So the food system is now built by the companies to hold in large quantities, central production, central processing, centralized distribution. So the food that could have been grown each and every place, remaining 90% of the land has got C4 grasses. Now I am coming to the word millet. C4 grasses which have higher genomic content and absorb water and make the grain in a different photosynthetic pathway called C4, a stable oxaloacetic acid intermediate through which it makes the glucose, whereas your rice and wheat start from pyruvic acid and make the glucose, the grain. While doing that, if you give little more water, it can make higher yield. And that's what Green Revolution expert said. We have here premium food, we can increase the yields per acre. Instead of 10 quintals, we are giving you 30 quintals. That's why this is the food for you. And that's what they did, and made patents, intellectual property rights, took away the rights of the seeds and seeds from the farmers. This is what Green Revolution experts did. And if they did that much, it was okay for me. What else they did? They said, the food that you are eating, which were millets, all over the planet for thousands and thousands of years, human communities grew various kinds of millets, more than 280 varieties of millets, grains. People grew and ate for lakhs of years, not thousands of years, lakhs and lakhs of years. Because these grasses could grow anywhere and everywhere, starting from Himalayas to Kanyakumari, whether it is desert or no desert, whether there is rain or no rain, it hardly mattered, because it has a higher genomic content, it can absorb the water from the atmosphere due to the hygroscopic bacteria that reside in the grasses, C4 grasses. That means the food that could be grown everywhere and anywhere. And these greenhouse experts came and said, this is primitive food, this is coarse grains, this is animal feed, this is bird feed. These are the exact words used by these experts. And then all over the world, people started believing, because these are the experts. They said, this is the food you should never be eating. We have here Green Revolution experts, we have produced you higher yields. This is your premium food. That is your primitive food. So all at a sudden the whole world believed our food. We started eating rice and wheat. Can you believe Kerala fellows are eating more paratha than Punjabi fellows? You cannot grow a single grain. When you eat this wheat has another big problem called gluten, a protein which can simply kill your celiac reason. And all these biologists, scientists have not a single word to talk about this. That means the absorbing capacity of human gut, that is after your stomach opens the valve after digestion, pours everything to absorb the nutrients and everything, that place is called celiac region, which can go haywire if you have this so-called gluten, a protein which can disturb the absorbing capacity. In fact, just wheat alone can give you 101 diseases. But on top of it, it releases glucose in large quantities into your bloodstream because there is no one to hold. Be it rice, be it sugar, be it wheat. So who can hold and release the glucose so that it never crosses the homeostasis 5 grams per liter condition? Who can do that? Only the grains of millets. And of course there is gradation in that grains of millets called major millets, minor millets. Millets, the word milli, what does milli mean? Huh? Small, millimeter, size of millimeter. You cannot even see. Am I right? That's where millium word comes from. Milli. So the grains that are very small called millets. Out of that we group them little bigger ones as major millets and smaller ones as minor millets. So minor millets in fact can grow where the rainfall is less than 10 centimeters. And major millets require little more rain, 20 to 40 centimeters. Whereas your rice and wheat minimum of 80 centimeters to 100 centimeters rainfall. Am I making sense? So when you have in your grains, wonderful, wonderful here. The minor millets, foxtail millet, barnyard millet, brown top millet, little millet, and kodo millet. These 5 grains we have tabled 8% to 12.5% fiber content is there. What's this fiber? This fiber is not normal fiber, it is complex. It has got aromatic content called lignans also built into it. Unlike your tubers, many of colocasia, tubers, tapioca, they have also got carbohydrate based fibrous conditions. Like there is another small plant called, poppy seeds, the ganza they make, the drugs. Very sisterly plant is called gongura, gongura. The Andhra fellows make pickles and cannabis, the word, does it ring bell to you? That also has got fiber. So the fibrous nature is varied, different. So the structure. So the ultimate matured fiber is aromatic, lignans becoming lignin. That is the wood. This is the wood. It is an aromatic structure, conjugated aromatic molecules stabilizing the electrons. The energy can be stabilized. It can absorb the negative energy. And that's why you see our old sadhu, santas, these munis, they used to walk on wooden chappal. The reason is that there is negative EMF generated in our biological system can be stabilized because the aromatic molecules are the seat of PMF, proton motive force. Though there are no protons, it is actually the electrons that are running around. It is the carbons arranged in the hexagon shape, arranged beautifully, stereo and space-wise, distributing these electrons and making them stabilize. So in fact the PMF is created by the movement of this wonderful synchronic dance of electrons in an aromatic complex system. And these are actually the matured lignons or precursors to making lignin, the wood. So this is the beauty of this fiber, the millets, minor millets fiber. They have this wonderful lignon fiber which is floating in your blood. That means any negative thing, any EMF becoming free radicals trying to disturb your organs and organelles, creating disease, is mopped up immediately. So what it means is that when you eat millet food, the fiber in the millets associated with the carbohydrate, unlike rice, wheat and sugar, zoom, flooding your blood with glucose, does not happen here. It holds back because you got to get the carbohydrate into your stream of blood only when you deal with these fibers. So it releases slowly and steadily, and then when you burn the glucose to make energy ATP, the EMF generated, the negative energy generated, is mopped up by the fiber that is floating in the blood everywhere. There is soluble fiber, insoluble fiber. How beautifully this system works. So if you divide by the carbohydrate by the fiber, you get a single digit in these 5 grains. And the remaining millets, these are the major millets: pearl millet, finger millet, proso millet, great millet, and desi corn I have written. Why did I write desi corn? Can someone tell me? Huh? What's your name? Where are you from? What do you do? Oh, okay. I want. Good. That's okay. So that's desi corn. The reason is that there is a GM corn which does not fit this thing. Once you manipulate the nutrition, everything changes. That's why. I'm glad there's someone who knows desi corn. So the corn that you eat in your cinema halls and you're popping that popcorn is what the madam is speaking about. But this is not the one. This is actually grain which exactly makes its grain carbohydrate glucose synthesis by C4 photosynthesis, but the grain is bigger than the millets. That's why we don't call desi corn a millet. Its grain size is bigger than 1 millimeter, or even sometimes it is 3 to 4 millimeters. And this sweet corn is like this much, half centimeter or something. So never ever touch that popcorn. It's danger written all over. Okay. So desi corn is fantastic because it has wonderful elements in its nutrition. Of course, the fiber content is given here and the carbohydrate by fiber ratio is here. That means the grain has associated the fiber with itself in the carbohydrate. So to get carbohydrate to glucose takes time to our body. That means there is some element of regulating the glucose release into your bloodstream when you eat millets, and this is the common point with all the millets, but the difference being in the amount of fiber and the time that they release the glucose into your bloodstream. Whereas rice and wheat has no such arrangements, because whatever little fiber is in the top layer which is gone, and you have carbohydrate, bare carbohydrate, nothing to protect, it will release its glucose in a flood and your blood is flooded. So the excess glucose beyond 5 grams has to be attended to immediately by your liver, pancreas, endocrine system, and you are in an emergency metabolism on a daily basis. Every minute that you eat these grains, and it is the most unscientific thing that the humans have been doing in the last 70 or 80 years, and we still think we are living in a scientific age. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? And since humans started eating rice and wheat and sugar, all the diseases in the world have increased. Ahmedabad, I went. They said, we are number one, capital of diabetes. Then Hyderabad, hey, you are very far behind. And then Calcutta, place I went, no, we eat more sweets, we are number one. Then I said, I am from Bangalore. Do you know, Bangaloreans do not bother even to enter the competition because they are the highest number of insulin used in the world is just in Bangalore city alone. You are all fighting for second place. 39% of people, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes, another, all this. And 48% of people are taking BP tablets. 28% of people are thyroid tablets. 42, whopping 42% people are having rheumatism and arthritis. 34% people are CKD, chronic kidney disease patients. Do you know the reason? All these experts are telling they are doing research for the last 70 years. The only reason is the excess sugar that you are dumping in your body due to rice, wheat and sugar. Period. No discussion is required. So what does that imply? What does that imply? That if you stop rice, wheat and sugar, next 6 months I can wipe out all these diseases from the planet. I warned you before itself when I started my lecture. Some of my statements will be, are we ready? Are you with me? Did you follow the logic, scientific logic? Can we make it happen? No. It will not happen because you are in non-heliocentric mode. Because your system is now used to these addictions of rice, wheat, sugar, coffee, caffeine, gutka, beer. Am I making sense? Do you know the number of diseases that can be simply vanish if you stop eating rice, wheat and sugar and milk? 93% of the diseases can be wiped out. Are we ready to wipe it out? I'm talking to the younger generation. Can you play the video? Just switch off the lights. Watch a 2-minute video.
Khader lifestyle. Hi, I'm Shruti. I'm from Bangalore. Last year, my son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in the month of September. He was barely 13 at the time. He had to be rushed to the hospital. He was in the hospital for about 7 days, where his medication or treatment included him taking insulin injections. And even when we got back, we were told that, this is how his life is going to be, where he has to manage his blood sugar levels only with insulin injections, and that he had to take it for about 4 to 5 times a day. And not just that, in the middle of the night, we had to check his blood sugar levels every day so that he doesn't enter a hyperglycemic state. And that is very painful to see, right? Thankfully, on the 9th day after his discharge, our very close relative because of his experience with Dr. Khader, recommended us to go consult him. So I took my son along to Mysore and we saw Dr. Khader. Dr. Khader immediately put us at ease. He said, my son does not have to be dependent on insulin injections for the rest of his life, that there was another way that included switching to a millet diet, stopping anything that was processed, stopping milk and milk related products, switching to an organic diet, and following a good physical regime, that is a good exercise routine. And immediately we started that. Also, Dr. Khader, in his disease protocol, he recommends for diabetes, he recommends taking concoctions of certain leaves in the morning and having bull-driven oils. There are 5 types that he recommends for diabetes. So we started doing that for my son. And in a week's time, we could see how his insulin dosage had to be reduced, right? For every meal, in fact, we had started giving him lesser and lesser because his blood sugar levels were getting controlled with lesser dosage of insulin. And believe it or not, at the end of 1 month, we could, stop his medication completely. He was just managing it with whatever Dr. Khader recommends, with the millet diet, with drinking the concoction of certain leaves, with the bull-driven oils, and following a healthy regime. So we are extremely indebted to Dr. Khader for his timely help. We are grateful to him because he's been our savior. And I recommend that everybody follow Dr. Khader's protocol. Even if you're healthy, please switch to a millet diet. Stop eating gluten and rice because it does more harm than good to our bodies. All of us at home eat whatever my son has to eat to manage his health, and that is great support when you do that. And we can see the difference even in our health. So thank you again, Dr. Khader. You've been our savior.
I have another 18 minutes. Another 18 minutes. So I'm trying to go and conclude in another 5 minutes, and then I think we will have some 10-15 minutes for question and answers, whatever it means. Whatever it means. Type 1 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes itself is declared by the experts that it is incurable. And now they keep telling you it is genetically disorder, this, that, all. All that is humbug. If your food is right, no medicine is required. And if your food is wrong, no medicine works. Health is in your food, not in the medicines. Of course, there is a confusing statement by so-called Hippocrates. He says, let your food be your medicine, thy food, all that. That's confusing. Food is beyond medicine. Food gives you health. And once the word medicine comes, you are sick already. So it is the millet food that can give you health, because it doesn't allow the disease to be generated. Even if you eat the organic food, the most uncontaminated, no chemicals added, even if you eat the organic right food right from nature, you still will generate EMF, because to burn and get energy, you produce the toxic morbid waste. And it is the millets and millets only have the fiber that can mop up this EMF. EMF transmutates, translates, and gets converted to the free radicals, then they store the damage, and then your organelles get dysfunctional, then you have the symptoms. But then the disease is originated when you are burning glucose to get ATP. There itself, your mitochondria to be kept young all the time till you die. The job is done by the millet fiber and millet fiber only. That's why I termed these grains, the top 5 grains, as Siri Dhanya. In South, we know Siri means the ultimate wealth. Poor fellow, this Steve Jobs, this Apple owner, fellow died of pancreatic cancer. When he died, he is worth $1 trillion. But nothing helped him. 800 doctors attended to him for 8 months with all the technologies. Now these guys are going to create you something, okay, oh, your bloodstream, your this, your that. But then after what? After that, what do you do? Go to the doctors and then they will dish you out and then send you to ICU and then. So what do you do to remove all these negative things that you are producing in your body? Then our Ayurveda fellows say, come, I will do Panchakarma for you. Then after Panchakarma you are doing good, you go back. After 3 months again, come back again. So you do Panchakarma on a daily basis. As you eat these 5 grains, all the karmas are completed. Because your organs, your mitochondria, your system does not accumulate toxic morbid waste. Period. Am I making the story complete? Is the story complete? So when you eat, you generate toxic morbid waste, even if you eat the best food in the world. And there should be an arrangement. And God has made this. It is not today, thousands and thousands and thousands of years ago. We have not decoded this till today. Foxtail millet, kodo millet. Now please just run through. Oh, I can do that? Okay, great. Yeah, I have actually in this small booklet PDF which is available for you, free, you can download, there is no patent, there is no copyright, copyleft, no intellectual property rights. I have actually made this booklet based on the 5 millets, finer millets, and of course other 5 millets also require information which is there, you can download. And apart from the millets, there are many more things that everyone has to do to be healthy, because our endocrine systems get activated through the frequencies of the sun, early morning sun, who is rising in the horizon, that Maitreyi, Saumitri, Khagaya, Pushna, Ravi, Bhanu, Aditya, Arka, Bhaskara. These are all the names of the frequencies that you get in the first phase. It's called Prabhodai, Ushodai, Arunodai, Suryodaya. These 4 stages. These frequencies actually activate your pituitary, thymus, adrenal, thyroid, and your other endocrine systems on a daily basis. So if do eat very good millet food, everything, still you will fall sick, because there are a lot more chemicals and biochemistry happens just with the presence of these wonderful frequencies of the sun. We are directly connected. That's what, again, heliocentric existence on this planet. So without the sun rays, your skin doesn't produce vitamin D, for example. There are a lot more things, biochemical processes that are cyclic, which are switched on by your sun rays and which are switched off when it becomes dark. So all these things are involved. So we have actually listed what you should do to be completely healthy. Okay? Where do I point this? Somewhere? Here? Okay. Oh no, it's going backwards. So advisable, avoidable. And if you read this list, this is all that we are eating now. Don't eat rice, don't eat this, don't eat that, don't eat that. And what are the things that are natural and logical and scientific that should be eaten by people, not consumed by people? We are consuming these things. Do not consume your food. Eat your food. You eat your food, don't consume. So we have found the alternatives which are native. That means any place on this planet you can find these things according to your place and area that you live in. And you can produce them there and then. No need to centralize, no need to process. Processed foods are no, no, no for you. Unless you cook your food, you will never ever be healthy. Do not eat processed foods, period. And of course, if you have time, read these few sentences whenever you get time, please. Go up. Yeah, some more do's and don'ts. This is after actually we have healed thousands of various modern day diseased conditions and made these observations. It's not, I have not sat in one corner and meditated and then written. No, I'm a scientist. We have worked on thousands of patients. After that diligent observation, we have made this list. And this is the most important part of our food systems. It's called ambali in South Indian language, basi in North Indian language. This is to restore, replenish, re-establish the connection to the outside world of called gut microbes, microbiome, which actually weighs 2.5 kilos, higher than your brain. And they are the ones which make everything happen in your body, because these are microbes that can change faster than your living cells. So they can make adjustments and make the biochemistry happen, including vitamin B12, for one example I am giving you. So each and everyone makes vitamin B12 within their bodies because of the microbes that you have in your gut, and nothing else can do this job for you. So eating fish or eating bear liver will not give you vitamin B12. Misinformation is floating around all along. So when you establish these gut microbes in your small intestines until the anus, only then you will be healthy. So how do you do that? And it should be diversified. Our millet fiber can harbor these diversified microbial systems. So you soak your grain, that is foxtail millet or little millet or kodo millet or whatever millet you want, ragi or jowar, each millet 2-3 days, you make the porridge, thin porridge. It should be very thin. Why it should be very thin? Your tummy, the valve doesn't open. If it is liquid, it just opens. Otherwise, acid rush has to come, the digestion has to complete, then only it will open. So if you make porridge thin, that is, if you have 1 cup of your grain, you need to add 15 times more water, minimum of 10 times water, so that you drink your this thin fermented porridge. So doing fermentation for 8 to 10 hours will add the microbes of diversified nature. So each grain has a set of microbes which vary up to 800 to 1000 different kinds. So you have 10 grains, you are adding almost 18,000 or so variety of microbes which are symbiotic, going to work for you 24/7. I describe drinking ambali once a day, you are making 24/7 doctor working for you in your tummy. And you don't need to visit any hospital at all in your life. Can we eliminate doctors completely from our life? You can. Of course, if you have an accident and all that emergency, we need doctors. But otherwise, you don't need a doctor if your food is right and if your methods are right. And that's what we have done. We have thousands of kids now not visiting doctors if you follow these simple things. We have made these 108 different diseased conditions tabled, and then the food that you should eat, different kinds of grains, and the local dependent on the leaves that are around you. We have made a list of leaves that you just boil and take the decoction. So you can actually deal with Parkinson's, TB, fits, paralysis. We have reversed most of these diseased conditions. Thyroid, PCOD, hormone imbalance, endometriosis, fibroid. In fact, the lady gave you the testimonial for type 1 diabetes, used this particular protocol. Hormone imbalance for the young boy who lost connection between pancreas and the insulin production, type 1 diabetes. So like this, we have enlisted hundreds of diseased condition: liver, kidney, pancreas, hepatitis, eye problems, glaucoma, that is typing mistake, GLAU it should be, glaucoma. Okay. Tachycardia. Tachycardia, kids, are you aware of what is tachycardia? You feel your heart beating. You should not feel your heart, but it keeps tuck, tuck, tuck. You listen to even the sound, and it beats. Instead of 72 times per minute, it goes 100 times, 150 times like that. That's called tachycardia. That can be simply put to rest and you be normal if you follow this. Constipation. Yeah, this is another important disease that the whole human race is facing. Constipation, gastric problem, piles, not able to shit properly. Because you know why you are not able to shit properly? You don't have fiber in your gut. It doesn't make the shit properly. You are eating rice, wheat, meat, milk, nothing has any fiber. And on top of it, in the last 30-40 years, the way we shit is also different. We are now sitting on the commode like this, and your anus is not completely open. So you put pressure. It doesn't come out. But the way you should shit is actually our ancestors taught what is called malasan. That means you sit on your toes and support your anus, the two buttocks with the heels. The anus is open completely. So the bowels move, shit comes out. Tap. 30 seconds, you're done. So skin problems, HIV, Corona 19 or Corona 99, I care two hoots. I don't care at all. All these infectious diseases do not exist as far as I am concerned, because I have internal immunity. I don't need anything. I have had no problem whatsoever. All vaccine 1, vaccine 2, vaccine 3, nothing works if you have internal immunity. So all that issues are dealt. IBS, colitis, Crohn's disease. Now many of the kids below age of 20-25 have IBS. Means they keep going to toilet every 2 hours, 3 hours. They go to, again come back and go to toilet. Go to toilet. I'm not talking about urination. I'm talking about all these problems can be just put to rest within 6 weeks to 6 months if you follow these protocols. And ambali, the fermented porridge, is like Ramabana for 98% of your diseases. Because it is with the microbes, it is with the sun, and it is with the right food, your balances are taken care of. Differently abled. Yeah, the sad story doesn't end with this present day, modern day diseases. 4 to 8% of the kids are born autistic, physically handicapped 8%, type 1 diabetes 8%, hole in the heart 8%. All these disturbances in the next generation is being passed down because of wrong food. The sperm health and the ovums are going haywire. PCOD, polycystic ovary disease. The girls are menstruating at the age of 8, average age right now, which should have been 15, 16. It's because of your milk and milk consumption. The milk produced by cow, who does it belong to? Calf. But why are you drinking? Your mother has given your milk and it's over. The constitution, the components, the steroid balance is good for the calf to grow because it grows in 6 months this much, but you grow only this much. And no scientist is telling you not to drink milk. Milk, complete food, is what is advertised even in the scientific textbooks. Can you believe this nonsense? But that's what is going on. Yeah, here is the set of 7 leaves, starting from the grass, C4 grass, garika we call, tulasi, gilai, pongamia, this is bilva, agale, this is pongamia, this is neem, and this is the people. These 7 leaves decoctions can protect you from all infectious diseases on this planet that have happened and that would be coming from the next 1,000 years. Nothing to worry. If only you have 7 days of each of these leaves decoction once a year, you're through. We have done this experiment on thousands of cases and we had thumping success. And we have some special diseases, so-called motor neuron diseases, muscular dystrophy, scleroderma. What is this? Myasthenia gravis, spondylitis, multiple sclerosis, including some of these cancer conditions, blood cancer, brain cancer, breast cancer. So some of the misconceptions about vitamins, vitamin B12, please, I'm actually almost another 2 minutes I am left. So we have talked about sweets. I said don't eat sugar, but then we need to eat some sweet. What are the sweets that can be eaten and what did our ancestors do? Everything is written. Please go through, and these are the decoctions and the leaves and the plants and herbs that we have utilized to keep the modern day diseases completely driven out of your system. We have given the scientific name and different things. Let everything that is born be at peace and joy. Sarve jana sukhino bhavantu. So when you start eating millets, you do not consume the natural resources. You start conserving the natural resources. We have replenished the lost barren lands by growing millets. Because once you grow millets, birds come to eat some of the grains. While they eat, they stay there for 2-3 days and also leave their droppings. And these droppings are going to replenish, regenerate, re-fertilize the barren lands. In fact, we have done experiments in the mined areas growing millets with little tricks called jungle farming. We have trained thousands of farmers. You can grow food anywhere on this planet. So distribute and make the real food security and food sovereignty. Sovereign, sustainable, secured food systems can be built if your food is millets, and nothing else can do this job for you. We can revive the lost rivers if you grow grass, not planting trees along with the river, because it is the top 4-5 inch layers that make the water sink into the, so you can build the groundwater only through growing grasses on the top layer, and that are C4 grasses. There are 6,000 to 8,000 varieties of these C4 grasses, and there has been no research on this planet in this regard. So 35 years back, I said I should do something different. And I'm the first scientist who has been talking about millets, millets, millets. Thank you very much. And just on time. I've taken exactly 1 hour, 6:22. Thank you very much.
For interaction, if you have any kind of questions, you can ask, you can share your thoughts, clear your doubts. Does anybody have any question?
Hello, sir. I have a question, if you don't mind. So you spoke about, I'm not from a science background, so this is just a clarification.
I'll stand. Oh, okay.
So you spoke about the ill effects of milk. But what about curd? It's fermented, right?
Absolutely. You have answered your question. So, milk is animal protein, and when you ferment with lactobacillus, and do you know how you ferment milk when you didn't have curds to start with? I'm talking about the first humans who found out how milk became curd. Do you have the green chili? Just open that stalk and then put it in the boiled milk which is cooling. Within 6 to 8 hours, depending upon where you are. If you are in Trivandrum, I think 5 hours you become curd. And if you are in Mysuru, it will take 8 hours, depending upon the temperature. So the lactobacillus, it is one particular kind of bacteria, and that resides in the green chili or green chili leaves. So even if the chili is dried, you can actually take the stalk and put, you will get curds. So it is the inoculum that is provided that makes the lactobacillus. That means it is working on the lactose present in the milk, converts it into lactic acid. So that's where it stops. It doesn't take it further. It keeps making more and more lactic acid, and that's how if you keep doing this curds for a longer period, you become very sour curd. Initially it is little sweetish because you still have some lactose left and things like that. So you want to take curds which is completely, that means there should not be sweetish taste at all in the curds. If there is a sweetish taste, that means still milk is milk, little bit of milk. So once you get that sour taste, it's okay to take because there is no animal protein which you cannot digest. So the digestive processes are done by the bacteria. And that's the point. The ambali has thousands of varieties of bacteria like lactobacillus, which are all doing good thing for you. In fact, the baby, when they drink milk, first 1.5 to 2 years only, has that milk digesting enzyme. As the mother's milk gets lower and lower, the enzymes that to digest the mother's milk also switched off genetically in your tummy. That's why you should not drink milk. And if you drink milk, oh, we are all drinking milk, coffee, tea, chai, 5 times, 6 times. The lactobacillus that is there is trying to help you to do this process. But then you are killing the lactobacillus. Once you have sugar, they will all die. Pathogenic bacteria take control. So this is the conflict you are facing. And that's why you have IBS, that's how you have nervous disorders, a lot of problems. So once you stop coffee, tea and milk, in fact we have cured thousands of IBS patients just by stopping milk and sugar. And of course we ask them to take the Ambali, which re-establishes the system, and within 6 weeks you are through. Otherwise they are taking steroids after steroids for months, not months, years and years. Problems continue to exist. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Thank you, sir.
You don't need to be from science asking question. Just ask questions.
So I have a question here. So,
Where? Here. Oh, okay.
somewhere in your presentation you mentioned that man is not born to eat meat. So, but as far as I understand that when we think of all those evolution and all, we had to do that, right? But
We had to do that is a second thing. But before eating meat, what did humans do?
yeah,
Actually, they ate grasses, they ate the grains, they did. So, our gut, you cannot even catch a rat if I allow you. I mean, I keep a rat or can you catch? You cannot catch. Only after you started hunting, getting the technologies right, now we are eating meat. But eating meat has created autoimmune diseases all over the planet. The reason for autoimmune diseases is animal protein. So the recent, there has been no research. There has been no research on this planet. Take 1,000 kids, not feed them animal protein. Take 1,000 kids, feed the animal protein. See, take 10 parameters of health and then follow it up for 2 to 3 years. They have not done that till today. We have done that. We have done that. So we have found the kids that are not given animal protein have come out with flying colors as far as health concerned. In fact, we have some kids not visiting doctors beyond 15 years, not even once. So these are all things that we have to re-establish, redo the research, and we have found many of the diseases can be just reversed by choosing not to do certain things. And in that not to do list, we have given that. Thank you for the question.
Best evening, sir. I am Joshaini from Kerala Agriculture University. I am a MSc scholar, sir, from Department of Agriculture Extension Education. Sir, my question is about, as it is an International Year of Millet, you told to avoid processed food, but most of them are focusing on processed millet products like biscuits, ice cream, chocolates, etc., etc. So what is your view on that, sir?
It's okay. At least they are talking about millets. I am against any food that is processed. I am actually, while present, it is for good health. If you want to be healthy, you do not touch processed food. You do not touch processed food. Of course, once in a while, you can do whatever you want. That's not an issue. I'm talking about the health and how a human being can avoid doctors completely. And now that you have too many hospitals, once in a while you can visit them. They also have to live, okay? So you indulge, that's okay. But what is your exact question? The processed foods, and they are allowing the... See, now we are in a world of marketing. So you have to market, you go to biscuit, you make pizza, you do whatever you want. But eat at least millet pizza. You will get less sick, okay? But at the same breath, I would not want to eat millet biscuit or millet pizza. I would want to make myself in my home. That's the way I live. I am 67, just finished my 66, and I have not visited doctors for the last 40 years.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Khader Vali, for enlightening the crowd about the nutritious choices on millets. So it was indeed a nutritious talk. So as a token of appreciation, we would like to give him a memento. And for that, I would like to invite Dr. Binuja onto the stage.
One announcement, rather information. There is a channel for Millet Magic Dr. Sarva. These 3 words. You get scores of videos and lot of videos on how to cook millets the right way. Of course, I personally don't like cooking in a pressure cooker and all, but in the channel, now and then you do see cooker use and this and that, because we want people to start millet food. So ultimately, you want to cook your food, use only mud pots, nothing else is better. Okay? So that apart, in the Millet Magic Dr. Sarva YouTube channel, in the description box, you have all these PDFs, Malayalam, Telugu, Kannada, Tamil, Punjabi, Gujarati, Marathi, everything you can download free. Please go ahead, read the books, ask more questions, start doing research, and it's left for new generations. This is only the beginning. Not enough research is done on millets. So I want young generation, young minds, young scientists spend more time on millets. Thank you.
So please receive the memento.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Dr. Khader Vali, Dr. Binuja, Captain Prakash, dignitaries here, and the young crowd out here. We had a small session on decoding millet at Technopark. So that was the beginning at that point of time. And when Captain Prakash told that, we can bring in the Millet Man of India to Kerala, I thought, Global Science Festival is an apt place wherein he can give a good this thing for the young crowd out here. It's very, nice to hear something which was a normal thing earlier. Over a period of time, it got encoded. And today we are decoding that. So it has got a technological element in that. When you talk about communication technology, something that is getting encoded, we have to decode. But it was a norm at one point of time, and that is slowly decoding. The beginning is already here, so the young generation has to take it forward. So that is the message that he has conveyed. And a similar session when we were having in Technopark, at that point of time also, even I spoke to my team. So I had told 2 things then. I said the most important thing in our life is what? Any guesses? Something which is very important in our life. It is oxygen. If you just shut your nose, in another 15 minutes you'll collapse. Yeah, 7 minutes. Right? After that, something which is important is your gut. So what Dr. Vali has spoken about, how well you take care of your gut, that is very, very important in the life. So once again, a lot of thanks, sir, for a wonderful session today. It has been immensely benefited, and we will take it forward, sir. Thank you.
I invite Roshan Matthew to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, one and all present here. It is with great pleasure and heartfelt gratitude that I stand before you to extend a vote of thanks following the insightful and inspiring talk delivered by our distinguished guest. I express my deepest gratitude to Dr. Khader Vali on behalf of the entire team of GSFK. His wealth of experience and knowledge has truly inspired us today. A special thanks to Dr. Binuja Thomas, Principal Scientist, KCST, who chaired the session today, and all other dignitaries. Heartfelt gratitude is extended to all the staff and volunteers who work tirelessly behind the scenes. Your dedication and enthusiasm have not gone unnoticed, and we are immensely thankful for your invaluable contribution to the success of the festival. Finally, our heartfelt thanks goes to everyone present here today. Be it students, professionals, or science enthusiasts, your presence has greatly enriched this event. I once again thank each one of you on behalf of the Global Science Festival, Kerala. Thank you.